You guys have always said Adam, started the band. He was the initiated it. Was he the one that said we could do this?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
I was. Yeah.
Were you ever in the Beastie Boys?
Yeah.
Briefly.
Yeah. No, you could. There's videos.
I'll vouch for you.
You were there 88 to 89. I remember.
Yeah.
And you were replaced by a
solid
lookalike.
year.
Yeah.
It was like Fast and Furious 7.
Well, Adam, before he was in Beastie Boys, he was in a band called the Young and the Useless. Before there was Beastie Boys, I was in this band called the Young Aborigines, which I guess is probably a name that would get us canceled. Like, is that an appropriationist?
Just keep going.
I mean, I'm just saying, you have to be honest about these things, like full disclosure, right? Cultural appropriation.
Again,
True.
I wasn't there.
I was in a band called Cultural Appropriation.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, we killed it.
Anyway, so Young Aborigines, Yauch was our, like, everything. He was our road crew torment. He was the only one who knew actually how to make things work, honestly. And we played 2 gigs in one night, and then we broke up. And it was John Barry, who was the first guitar player before Adam from the Beastie Boys, and myself and Kate Schellenbach, who was the original drummer for Beastie Boys. She played percussion in Young Aborigines, and I played drums. But then Yauch, like, really, it's not even so much he wanted to be in that band, but he wanted to be in the band. So he's like, all right, we're starting a new band. So then it was like John, myself, and him, and then Kate, and then I was the one I drew the short straw, and so I had to sing, which I really didn't.
Wait, the
want
short straw is
to
the
do.
singer?
In my case, I didn't want. I definitely would have way rather at that time would have rather played drums.
Yeah,
that would have been my ideal, but didn't work out that way.
Wasn't to be.
No. Anyway, so then, but Yauch was, I mean, he was the visionary in terms of like, we're going to do this. And Adam and I could go back and forth in many, we could talk story for hours about how Yauch was a master manifestor. I mean, at that age, I definitely didn't know what the word manifest meant, but he was really someone who was just completely determined to do something and would get it done. I think beyond probably I don't know, we were a little more like, oh yeah, seems like a good idea to us. We'll do it.
Or just like, you're with your friends, you're like, oh, we should do this thing. And like nobody like does anything after just, we should do this thing. But then he'd show up with like a camera and film. Like, I guess we're actually going to do the thing that we were talking about.
Thank you. Yeah. It's like, that thing of like, you're with your friends and they're like, how many times you're with your friends and somebody says the crazy idea and you're like, yeah, okay. That just becomes one of the 1,000 crazy ideas that never, ever happens.
99.9% of kids your age say, we should do this thing. And then they smoke more weed and they don't do anything.
No.
And then
I think that that's I don't know, I was going to go somewhere with that, but
go ahead.
You have to single out the potheads. I
know.
feel like that's like,
why are you attacking the potheads?
I don't know. I
feel like math kids, like
you're right.
They're not always doing the stuff.
You're right.
They're always like doing the crazy ideas.
You know what? You're right. I apologize.
The potheads are smoking the pot. The math kids are doing the math.
I think you're right, and I'd like to apologize.
Okay.
And I'm also apologizing.
Yeah,
sorry,
why is he looking?
I'm
Why is he
apologizing.
looking at you?
I'm apologizing to Sona because she's.
I partake.
You don't just
and
partake.
I'm unapologetic. I
You're
get
probably
things
fucked
done.
up now. You have twins.
I do.
Yeah.
They're so young, but they're also why I do it. So it's okay.
It's fine. I had the chance to have a really nice, lovely conversation with Adam on the Warner Brothers lot. I want to say it was about a year before he passed away. He was there directing, I believe, a video, some project. And I could tell he wasn't well, but I was coming out of the commissary. He was going into the commissary, and we just had like this nice bonding conversation. It wasn't that long. But it was when we just first showed up at the Warner Brothers lot to do that iteration of whatever the hell we were doing, and seemed like an absolutely lovely guy. But it's always been clear to me that you call him the manifestor or the catalyst, the person who's, you've got all the ingredients. You just need someone to create the friction or set the, get the thing moving. And it felt like in you guys are saying that may have been Adam.
Yeah, but it's honestly beyond that, because it really was like he was the guy who would have the craziest fucking idea that anybody would possibly have in the room, and then, like exactly what Adam said, then show up the next day with the equipment that would make it all possible, and then you're doing it. So
we didn't do all of the stuff that he was saying, though.
Thankfully, yeah.
I know. He wanted to do a tour underwater, and luckily that never.
Yeah.
How was that going to work?
Yeah, I know. He really.
Yeah. There was
thought about it, had drawings and everything.
There was a lost city of Atlantis fascination that went on for a while.
Actually.
Yeah.
Did he believe the lost city of Atlantis existed?
It's not
no,
about
it wasn't
that.
about Atlantis.
I see. Okay.
It's just this idea of like having this underwater, presenting what you're doing on tour in an underwater environment. And I granted, I would give it to him. Had we done it, nobody else has ever done it prior. Yeah. And there's probably a lot of good reasons for that,
Yeah, logistically, it's just a lot.
There's no oxygen down there.
Yeah.
No, oxygen, and with the tank, and then you have to wrap at the same time with the oxygen.
Yeah.
It's hard going out, going in.
And call me old-fashioned, but I think when I was a kid, I was told water, electricity, kind of keep the two separated.
That's never been proven.
Yeah.
Never been proven.